Before I start, one more time for Drew. So my name is Adam Wade, and I'm originally from New Hampshire, the state of New Hampshire, and my high school years, I struggled to fit in with kids my own age. I was in the marching band my freshman year. I played the alto saxophone, and at the end of the year, the last day of school, the band conductor called me into his office, and he said, "Have a seat." He said, "Adam, I've been here for 35 years, and I've never said what I'm about to say." He said, "Adam, you are not mentally or physically able to handle the rigors of marching band." I was on the men's varsity golf team. Callback. As a reserve. So technically, I wasn't on the men's golf team. I didn't have a lot of friends. One of my friends went by the nickname Fetus. He was a little kid. He looked like a fetus. He was a good kid. He was a good kid. He was a nice boy. He was a nice boy. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if 1 is popular and 10 is not popular, I was like a 2. But on Saturday nights in the company I kept, I was without a doubt a 10 out of 10. And every Saturday night through my high school years, I went out with my grandmother and my great aunt to dinner. And prior to that, they'd always pick me up. But a big moment in my life, when I turned 16, I got my driver's license. To them, I became a man, and I started to pick them up and drive. I became their chauffeur. So I'm Greek. It was my yaya, my grandmother. That's what we call my grandmother, and her sister, my great aunt, Aunt Riti. Now, both of them were widows. They lived in this little house together, and they were both retired from the Amoskeag shoe factories in my town. My yaya, for 54 years, put shoes together. So she worked on the main line, manual labor, and she put shoes together until her body just gave out and she had to retire. And after her retirement, her hands, they looked like the skins of potatoes from all that work. And my Aunt Riti was the glamorous of the two. She was a secretary in the shoe factories. And long after her retirement, she was always, no matter where we went, she would be dressed to the nines with the lipstick on, with her high heels, with her aim. She had a little like Amy Winehouse little curl in the front, and just ready to go. So on this particular night, I picked them up in my mom's car. I didn't have a car of my own. It was a bright purple Mercury Cougar. It was like a neon bright colored car, like one of a kind. And I've never seen a car like this before. And if you did, you'd probably say, is a pimp driving this car? You know, so my town, they called it the Pimp Mobile. They nicknamed it the Pimp Mobile, and everybody, there's the Pimp Mobile, and yes, okay. So on this particular night, it's my junior year in high school. It's like late April, and they get into the car, and I say to them, Yaya's in the front seat, Riti's in the back. I'm like, where to? And they just start laughing because they know every Saturday night we go to the same place. Go to a place called the Clam King. It was a mom and pop fast food place that specialized in seafood. And we went there, we sat down, a waitress came over, and every week, Yaya and Riti would order the same things, fried scallops with French fries and tartar sauce, and I would just get a cheeseburger because my stomach, I have a funny stomach, and I can't do like exotic things like scallops. So when we finished our order, like the night really began at that moment, and we would play this game every week, and I was the lookout. My job was to watch the waitress going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And once she disappeared, the coast was clear, and I'd look across the table to my Aunt Riti, and I'd wink, and that was a signal, and she knew what that meant. And she'd lean over and open up her huge purse at the side of the table, and as she did that, my yaya would lean over and knock the salt and pepper shakers right into the purse. They're like, yeah, we got him, oh my God, we got him. And they get so excited. And we got another set. And then they would look at me and they're like, you. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you're like the best lookout. You're such a good look. I go, what do? I just wink. You guys, you steal. Whoa, time out. It's not stealing. I go, yeah, it is. And they're like, no, it's not stealing. Like, think about it. We pay our bill. And if we pay our bill, we can take whatever we want. Anything. I'm like, where did you hear this? They're like, yeah, that's fact. I'm like, okay. In their house, going down to their basement, they had this big cabinet, and they would always say, Adam, open up the cabinet. I'm like, come on, let's open up the cabinet. So I'd open up the cabinet, and inside were hundreds of salt and pepper shakers that we'd stolen over there. And they would just look like, look at that. And they're like, yeah. They're like, look, I go, I know, I see it. They're like, we never have to buy salt and pepper ever again. It's all here. I'm like, okay, it's true. When the food came, they turned into Yaya turned into like a little kid. She would take her skull and like a robot, dump it in tartar sauce and stick it in her mouth. Never chewing, just doing it. And you'd have to watch because the cheeks would expand, they'd expand, and then she'd choke, and then it was like in her mind, now start chewing. And she'd chew, gobble down, and go down, and then she'd do it again. And like you just like, Where Arnariti would order her fries, she's like, I want them right out of the fryer-later, and if they weren't, she'd send them right back. And when they came, there'd be like a cloud of smoke coming over the fries, and she'd be so excited, you're like giddy. And she'd put her hands over the French fries like a campfire, and she would just look. And I'm like, eat them, they're hot. She's like, no, I just want to watch. I'm like, all right. She's like, they smell delicious. I wonder how they taste. So she started eating. And this particular moment was a moment that I look forward to more than any moment during the week. While we ate, they would start complimenting me. And they would say, oh, someone got a haircut. I'm like, I don't like it. It's too short. No, it looks good on you. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, hey, Adam, how did you do on the chemistry test? I'm like, come on, let's eat. I don't want to talk about chemistry now. Come on, let's just eat. They're like, how did you do on the chemistry test? I got a 95. They're like, oh, he's so smart. He's brilliant, this boy. He's brilliant. I'm like, no. They're like, yeah. I go, no. I take all the easy classes. That's why I get the 95s. And they'd be like, oh, this guy, he's like the total package. I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, you're smart, you're handsome, and you're humble. You're like the total package. And the rest of the meal, they would just bombard me with nice things about me, just compliments. They saw me the way I wanted to be seen. So as the night continued, we would get in the car, and our first stop every Saturday after Clam King would be the cemetery to see our dead relatives. So we'd see the dead relatives. And Yaya and Ariti were mobile, they could walk, but once we got into the cemetery, they get kind of scared, so they stayed in the car. So we would drive and see all our dead relatives, and they would always say, like, come on, get a little closer. I'm like, no, I can't get it. They're like, get a little closer, I want to touch the gravestone. I go, if I do that, I'm going to be over the dead person. They're like, don't worry, nobody's looking, just do it. I'm like, all right. So I'm like driving over like the dead person, they roll down the window, and they'd be like, hi, Ben. Let's go to the next one. And then we'd go like, hi, Paul, and like saying hi to all the dead relatives. Then we would go to McDonald's for milkshakes. The Clam King had milkshakes, but nothing like McDonald's. They love McDonald's. So we got our chocolate milkshakes. And then we would go just driving around. Again, Saturday night, just driving around. And we'd always go by this little dinky airport in my hometown. And we would go by, and whenever we would pass it, they would say, it would be fun, Adam. And I'm like, no, what? And they're like, if we drove into the little parking lot there and we watched a plane take off, wouldn't that be exciting? Wouldn't that be fun? I'm like, yeah, well, we should do it. I go, not, I'm sorry, girls, not tonight. And I keep driving. And it was difficult to say no to these women. But what they didn't know is on Monday mornings at the locker area, all the popular kids would be talking about what happened Saturday night at the airport. The airport was like our inspiration point, makeout point. That's where all of them went. And I'd hear about the hijinks. And for me at that time to get caught at the airport, okay, by the cool kids with my yaya and my auntie, not gonna happen, not cool, no. I had a friend called Fetus. I was thrown out of marching band, okay? Please, no. Even nice guys have their limits here. Christ. The other thing is, I'd never been to the airport yet. And my dream, I'm 17 years old, and my hope was the first time I went, I would go with a girl my own age and make out. Unfortunately, there was no chance of that ever happening because girls my age, they didn't see me that way. So on this night, again, it's late April, daylight savings time, we drive by, we're making good time. There's not a car in that parking lot, and they're asking me, and finally I just give in. I say, okay, one plane. And they get very excited, and we pull in, we're at this little chain link fence, and in my mind is one plane, and you're getting the hell out of here. And we're sitting there, and I turn on the radio. I want to brag. I had only been driving 1 year, but I perfected the volume of the radio when they were in the car. So we got the doo-wop shop out of Boston playing. Okay, we got Dion and the Belmonts running around Sue, and it's loud enough so they can hear it, okay, but it's not too loud that they'll complain that it's too loud. So I look, they nod, we're good to go. Now we just need a plane. So, okay, again, small airport in New Hampshire. It's not JFK, it's not LaGuardia, it's not even Newark, okay? Not a lot of planes. Not a lot of planes on a Saturday night. So we're sitting there, like a half hour goes by, and sweat starts coming down. And I'm like, we gotta get a plane here, and this little one propeller plane comes on the runway, and I'm like, thank you, and I hold Yaya's hand, and I hold Ariti's hand, and it starts taking off. And as it goes over our heads, like in unison, we go like, whee! And it's a nice feeling, it's nice, it's good, right? Good, yeah, it's good. And I'm like, let's go. And I go to start up the car, and Yaya puts her hand on my wrist, and she just squeezes, and she's like, before we go, honey. I go, what's up, Yaya? She's like, before we go, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, what is it, Yaya? Come on. She's like, do you think that plane's going to China? I'm like, what? She's like, do you think that plane's... I go, yeah, we're in New Hampshire. China's far away. I mean, it's a small plane. I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. So Yaya's in the back. Anariti's in the back seat. She's the older sister. She starts cackling. She's like, oh, my... What a stupid question. That's a stupid question. How the hell is he supposed to know that? And she lights up a Pall Mall menthol. Not supposed to smoke. She's had cancer twice. But she takes a couple puffs just to get her fix and flips it out the window. Now she's good. Now Yaya's pissed off and turns around and goes, yeah, keep smoking, big mouth. Keep smoking. Cancer's got you down twice. Next time you're going down for the count. You're dancing with the devil. You're dancing with the devil. Now, Anarita looks at her. Now she's pissed off. She's like, last time I checked, it's a free country. I'll do what the hell I want. And the guy's like, well, good luck to you and the Red Sox. And they just start fighting, and they're going back and forth, back and forth. When they run out of English, they go to Greek. When they run out of Greek, it's just all hand gestures. And it's just like, it is incredible. It's just like, what a show that they're doing. And I know, I've learned from the years, do not pick sides. Because if you pick one side, the other will be upset. So I'm just taking it in, laughing, and then I look in the rearview mirror, and they're coming in. And it's Jettas and Saabs, and they got the Central High School bumper stickers, and this is not good. This is I'm screwed. And this blue Suburban pulls up next to me, and it's the last car I want to see. It's a senior, SD and his girlfriend Rachel. They're not nice people. They're not nice people. And they see the Pimpmobile, and immediately he yells out the window, holy shit! Adam Wade's at the airport. Now I know tone. I've been made fun of a lot my whole life. I've been made fun of. I know what being made. I know the tone. He is not making fun of me. I know it. He actually sounds impressed. And the next question he has is, "Who you got in there, stud? Who you got in there?" On cue, Yaya leans over and waves to him. He's with his grandmother and great aunt, dear. Isn't this a beautiful night to watch the airplanes? I want to be dead. I want to be dead. I literally, I close my eyes and I just want to be a vapor and just poof, And I do that and I open my eyes. I have not vaporized. I'm still there. And now I'm just dripping in sweat. The sun has gone down. All the cars are flipping their high beams onto my car. They see the Pimpmobile. They're yelling my name. They're beeping the horns. And it's just like, I look over at Yaya and she's smiling. And Ariti's, they're like, oh my God, you're like the mayor. Wow. I mean, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. Like, yeah. And now I'm sweating. And Yaya's like, she's like, what's wrong? You got to go diarrhea? You got to go diarrhea? I go, I don't have to go diarrhea. What the hell are you talking about? She's like, remember? I go, I was 4 years old. Why do you always bring that up? I did it once. I shat my pants once. Why? Well, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I go, I'm not who you think I am, okay? I'm not who you think I am. She's like, well, what do you mean? I go, come on, I'm a loser. I'm a loser. And Yaya gets upset and she's like, why would you say that, Adam? Why would you say that you're a loser? And I snap, and I just say, because I'm with you two on a Saturday night, that's why I'm a loser. I mean, think about it. And I start up the car, and the car goes quiet, never goes quiet. And I'm shaking now. And I've never in my life talked to them like that. And we're driving home in silence. And I had this embarrassment. And now it's turned to shame for how I've treated them. We get back to their house, and with my shoulders slunched, I go and I sit on the little love seat. And I wait for them. And they go upstairs, and they put on their slippers made of yarn and their muumuus. And they come down. They start making a racket in the kitchen, like real loud. They get boiling the hot water for the good hot chocolate that I like. They get the Swiss fudge and they cut it and put it on a silver tray that I like. And then they get the bowl of poppycock caramel popcorn, the good stuff, the brand. They get everything ready for me. And at 10 p.m., with like two big babushkas, they sandwich me in the little love seat. And we start to watch a show called The Commish. Now, The Commish was our favorite show. It starred Michael Chiklis, and he's Greek, and we're Greek. And if there's a Greek on TV or an actor that has a last name that sounds like it could be Greek, we're going to watch the show. We're going to talk about how good he is or she is and how Greeks are some great actors. No matter what the show is or how good it is. So a commercial comes on, and I just don't know what to say. And just go, I'll tell you one thing about this Michael Chiklis. He's a great actor. I mean, he's right up there with Greeks like Telly Savalas and John Cassavetes. I mean, those were their favorite actors. I mean, just my opinion. I mean, he's got the potential at least, right? And I wait, and Yaya starts patting my head, and she says, I hope, wow. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you got such a nice haircut, Adam. Did I tell you that? I go, yeah, you did. And then Ariti squeezes me, and she says, you know you're the best boy, right? You're our boy. Thank you. As much as they love being with me, I love being with them. I go to school on Monday, and it is a shit show. SD's telling everybody that I'm going to go to the prom with my yaya, and that's only if my auntie says no. And they go after me all day long, like all day long. But I survived. I'm here. So Anariti passed away 12 years ago, and Yaya passed away 10 years ago. I find myself going home to New Hampshire to visit my family now 3 to 4 times a year. And whenever I do, I find myself in a car, and I retrace the route from that night. And I'll go by their house. I'll go by where the Clam King was. I'll go by the cemetery where they are now, and I drive right up this side. I roll down, and I keep going, and I get my chocolate milkshake at McDonald's. I take my lactic pill now. It's the stomach. And then I go by the airport. Now, in the time since they've passed, I've tried to be the person they saw me as and the person I was to them. And I don't have a lot of regrets in my life. But I never took them back to the airport, and they asked many, many times. And I would give anything. I'd give anything to be able to take them back to the airport one more Saturday night. Thank you.